Hello everybody, we welcome you to our cardiac and pulmonary rehab class. We hope that you all have tried to find something to do to keep yourself active and healthy on our small break that we've had. We are going to provide a little bit of exercise, both cardiovascular and pulmonary, to you. We're going to try to keep it in a 30-minute time span. We are happy that you're all enjoying and joining us today. Monica is going to be giving you a modified version in a seated position in a nice strong chair. I will be modifying the movements as best as I can in a standing position, and then Stephen will be doing everything as high impact as he can with some safety modifications as well. Make sure that you have some space around you. Make sure you're not hopefully on any type of heavy carpet, and that you have space to move. If you choose to, you can always sit and do these exercises. Just make sure you're in a nice, steady, strong, sturdy chair. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. We'll go right into our exercise, a lot of different things, and then we'll finish with a cool-down. And here we go. We're going to start with our marches in place. We're going to march in place just to get our heart rate up, keeping our head lifted, nice and strong. Our warm-up will only consist of about 2 minutes, so you do as much as you can, as best as you can. Remember to stop if you need to at any time. Always making sure you have a towel and water around just in case you get thirsty. We encourage little sips of water throughout the entire exercise. We're going to stop those legs and we're going to just go arms back. Big arm circles back. If this is too much, you can always modify and go one arm at a time. Just make sure you get nice, good range of motion in those shoulders. Arms extend to the ceiling. Nice and controlled. Obviously, Stephen's doing both arms. Monica's going through in a seated position, but nice and strong. And we're going to change direction. Bring those arms forward. Again, you can go both arms, or you can go alternating arms. We're so happy to have you with us today. We're excited that you're here. We're happy that you're enjoying your day off and being able to enjoy our exercise with us as well. And we're going to bring our arms to the side. We're just going to warm up those legs with a nice slow squat. Down and up. And you'll notice Stephen is going a little bit lower than I'm going. Monica's just tapping her rear into that chair and coming right back up. Those of you that have done these before know that these are not called squats in our normal classes. They are called up-downs. And give me 2 more just like that. And very good. Now we're going to do a side lunge. These are going to be a little bit different. You're just going to lunge to the side, bend that knee, and come up. And Monica's just going to reach those legs out, extending one leg. Good. And down. And up. By this time, you should be breathing a little bit heavier. Heart rate should be up. Those of you that have watches or some type of heart rate monitor, you can be looking at those and making sure you're within your good target heart rate zone. And give me 1 more on each leg, and then we're going to go right into our workout. And back to center. Good. Our workout will consist of 6 different movements. We're going to group them together in 20-second segments. So you're going to do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We will continue through. Our first 2 movements will be high knees. Again, Monica's going to be sitting doing those. I will stand and do them, and then Stephen's going to go as high powered as he can without truly going too high impact to hurt himself. And then we will alternate that with a squat and reach. We will get started in 15 seconds. Our knees up will be simple here. You can reach as high as you want with those arms as you feel comfortable. And our first 20 seconds, go. Knees up, knees up, knees up. Stephen didn't realize he was going to come and get a workout with us today.
Oh.
He'll leave here sweating a little bit, I'm sure. 10 more seconds. Make sure you're pulling your abdominals in, chest is lifted, nice and strong, and stop. Good. Our next movement, feet shoulder width apart, we're going to squat and reach to the ceiling. Second 20 seconds, go. Down, reach, down, reach. nice and controlled. Again, we're happy to have you with us today. We're sorry that we can't meet one-on-one together. We certainly do miss each and every one of you. And stop. Good. So that's our first exercise segment for our first session, or our first segment of exercises. We're just going to keep repeating that. All right, knees up, 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 lift, lift. Good. And if you have a timer at home, you can always make sure that we're not cheating you of any seconds, and so that we're not working too hard. And stop. You'll notice, and as we keep going through our movements, it's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We go right into the next movement. Squat and reach. Here we go. Squat. Reach. 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 Up. Good. Another modification to this is to just reach one arm at a time and stop. So you are halfway through this first segment of exercises. Getting ready to go right back into high knees and go. Reach and pull. Just because if you choose a seated position does not mean you aren't getting a good enough workout. That means you're just working harder to pull those knees up to the chest, utilizing your lower abdominals, and stop. You'll notice the one doing the high impact will stop earlier than the others. I'm just teasing. And squat and reach. Squat. I'm making him do this. This is totally not on his own accord.
If you haven't noticed, this is also improv hour.
It is. Down and up. Good. And stop. He also has a better eye on the timer than I have, so that helps him out a little bit. This should be our final set of these exercises. And knees up. Lift. Good. For our next exercises, we will need some weights. So if you don't have light weights at home, you can use soup cans, water bottles, and stop. Or you can do the movements without the weight. And we'll get to those in just a second. We have our last set of squat and reach. And go. And reach. And reach. Make sure you're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, controlling your breath. Counting out loud often helps. And stop. Good. So you will get an extra 30 seconds before we start our next set of exercises. So your resting 30 seconds is starting now. The next two sets of exercises. We will be doing bicep curls. Again, you have the option of alternating those biceps, going both at the same time, using soup cans, water bottles, whatever you can think of that can add a little bit of resistance to that work. And then we're going to alternate those with some reach and taps. If you guys want to grab some dumbbells, here Monica, I'll hand you some dumbbells.
Dumbbells?
Sure.
Modification?
Yeah, she's going to modify with those. We'll see how Steve, I was going to pick up the 45s, but we'll let him.
I was expecting that.
So our first set's getting ready to start here. 15 seconds. You guys got a little bit more of a break than I was anticipating. With your bicep curls, your chest is lifted, shoulders are back. We're going to start bicep curls up and to the shoulders. Here we go. Lift. Lift. This is when you can try to catch that breath. Keep everything steady. Again, modification can be one at a time, both at the same time, your choice. Up, up, and relax. I want you to put those dumbbells somewhere where they're not going to get in your way, somewhere away from you. And our tap and reach. A little bit of coordination here. You're going to reach and tap, reach and tap. I'm tapping here. Good. you wanted to take those hands above the head, you could do that. This is more coordination than anything, just trying to get two body parts moving in conjunction with one another. And stop. Back to our bicep curls. And go. Up and down. And you'll notice Stephen and I are doing these bicep curls just a little bit differently. My palms are faced toward me. His are faced up to the ceiling. Doesn't matter. Keep it nice and controlled however you feel the best movement and the best control. And stop. Dumbbells down. And back to our tap and reach. And go. Tap and reach. And if you're at home and it's too quiet for you, you're more than welcome to play music, trying to get yourself coordinated with some music. That is totally fine. Probably better than listening to us breathe. And stop. Good. Back to our bicep curls. 2 more sets of each movement. Again, anytime we are doing an upper body movement, we make sure our knees are loosely bent so that we're taking that pressure off of the low back. And we curl. Up. Up. Chin is lifted, shoulders are back. Everything is strong in that upper body. Very good. And relax. Back to our tap and reach. And go. Tap, tap. Good. Oh, sorry, Steve.
There we go.
I started on a different side. I forgot to tell him. Very good. 5 more seconds here, and we'll finish up with our last set of these movements. And stop. And last set of our bicep curls. Remember, at any time during this workout that you say, hey, you know what, I need to sit down. I need to rest. You do so, okay? I would prefer you rest standing, but if you need to sit for any other reason, you do so. And curl. Lift and lower. Try to control that breath through nice, good, strong diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Movements are slow and controlled, and stop. Very good. And last set, tap and reach. Tap and reach. This is our 4th set, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure.
Try to use a chair that doesn't have arms on it, by the way.
Good idea. And stop. Very good. You're going to get your 10 seconds of breath and then another 30 seconds before we go to our 3rd group of exercises. Our 3rd group of exercises, let me tell you what those are real quick, is jumping jacks alternating with calf raises. So, jumping jacks in a seated position. Going to be almost like me doing a modified version here with my hands up, alternating feet. And then my buddy here, Steven's going to do the full throttle jumping jacks.
I'll be doing the proper way.
The man.
I'm like the other two
The
here.
man jacks. So we're going to do the jumping jacks, and we're going to
Might be a
start
little
those
slow, but
right here. And go, jumping jacks. This is our first 20 seconds. Again, if you do not feel comfortable doing a full jumping jack, absolutely just go at your comfort level. Do what you feel comfortable doing.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. Get that heart rate up and stop. All right, so Monica will stand up for these calf raises. She's going to go behind her chair and just use the chair for support. I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see my feet go up. We're going to go up and down on those toes. Lift and lower. And one way to make this a little bit more difficult, when you feel like you are able to do so, go ahead and lift your hands above your head as you do your calf raises as well. Just a little bit of tweak on the balance to add the balance part into this movement as well. And stop. And we go right back into our jumping jacks. And go. Good. Try to get those hands all the way up and all the way down. If you have limited range of motion, you may limit it just a little bit and keep those palms open at the front. Your choice.
You can go across.
You can go cross. Thank you, Monica, for that. And release, and calf raises are next. Only shoulder width apart, chest lifted, and up. Lift. Lift. Try to keep that belly button in, because remember, any type of balance move requires lots of core to be engaging at this time. The stronger you are in your upper body, the easier it will be to balance on those toes. And stop. Third set of jumping jacks. You guys are doing excellent. Keep up the good work and go. And Stephen is doing a full throttle jumping jack. He's staying on the balls of his feet. His arms are up and down. I can hear him breathing. You guys might not be able to, but I can. We are making him really tired. And release. Very good. Feet no more than shoulder width apart, and up and down. Lift and lower. And stop. Very good. That was it for that one, right? All right. So we're going to have 30 seconds of rest before we go to our fourth group of exercises. You will need your weight, one dumbbell or a heavy item in your house that's safe to lift up and over your head. You can also, we're going to start off with tricep extensions, and then we're going to do some steam engines, which I'm going to say Monica gave the name to these movements. So I'm going to grab one heavy dumbbell. Monica's going to use a little bit lighter just to modify this movement. I'm going to take this dumbbell above the head and down behind and lift. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see how my elbows are bending at almost a beyond 90-degree angle. Keeping my elbows in nice and tight, meaning not out here. Don't hurt your shoulders. Keep them nice and tight. And stop. Put that weight aside. Monica's going to do these steam engines in the seated position. Just make sure you do not lean back too far that you cause the chair to tip. I will be here modifying. You're going to alternate crossing. Come on, Stephen. There we go. His are a little bit stronger, a little bit more powerful than mine. Think about pulling your belly button in. And if you need to just come down here with the hands to modify, you may do so. And stop. Back to our tricep extension overhead. Hands up. And release. Bring it down, extend up. Down and extend up. Down and up. Good. Breathe. And release. You know you're doing that one right if you got a double chin. Okay? That means your head is lifted nice and strong. All right, back to those steam engines. Hands back or in front, and we cross.
Use your stomach to pull your knee up. Think of it that way.
Every time that knee comes up, belly button comes in, core of the body is working strong, a lot of balance, and release. Should also be raising your heart rate. Okay, so you should be still getting an elevated heart rate as well as respiratory rate. Third set of triceps. It's about time. You guys are like, oh, is she done yet? Almost. We're getting close. Hands up and down. We're getting close. We're about 20 minutes into the total workout. Got about 10 more minutes left. We will cool you down and slow that heart rate. Make sure you get a good stretch at the end of your workout. And stop. Is this our final set? Final set of this exercise. And we go. Cross, cross. and stop.
Was that
There.
3 or 4?
I don't know, was that 3 or 4 of those? I'm pretty sure that was 4.
I think it was 4.
We're gonna go with 4. If we're wrong, go ahead and comment. And comment back. We're gonna have another 30 seconds before we do our our 5th set of exercises. 5th set of exercises are a plie squat. So instead of a regular squat, you're just gonna turn your toes out. Monica's gonna do this one instead of seated. She's gonna do it behind the chair with some aid from the chair, holding here. And her squat's gonna be minimum. Of course, Stephen over here is going to go nice and strong with a nice, strong, deep plie squat. And then we're going to work that with heels to the butt. And Monica will also be doing this one behind the chair, pulling her heels to the butt here. I will be in place, going a little bit faster. And then Stephen will be doing the higher intensity of those.
Butt kickers.
Butt kickers. And they are really butt kickers. That's what they are. So here we go with our plie squat. First set, down and up. Down and up. Now the only thing different about this squat from a regular squat are your toes are turned out, your weight is in the heels of your feet, okay? Chin and chest are still lifted, but you're able to pivot a little bit right there in those hips and allow yourself to fall forward slightly. And stop. Very good. Feet are going to still be wide for our heels to the butt. Butt kickers. Here we go. Heels up. Good. Monica's doing the same thing just behind the chair, nice and strong, keeping everything nice and steady, holding with some balance on that chair. Think about kicking your heels all the way to your buttocks. For those of you with big heinies, makes that a little bit easier. And relax. That's true story.
Like I said, improv hour.
And feet out nice and wide, and down and up. Sometimes you can always turn a negative into a positive.
That's true.
So, you got a big
Distance
hiney?
between
Hey,
the two.
some things get a little bit easier. This, hey, my butt gets closer to the ground a lot faster because I got a big butt. Okay? Stephen just goes low because he's a show off. And stop. And this is our second set of these. All right, ready? Heels to the butt. Up, up. Good. Notice how I'm shifting weight a little bit more than Stephen is. He's kind of staying right in the center because his heels are lifting faster. Again, only pick the level that you feel comfortable doing. And if you're like, hey man, I think I can do a little bit higher, only do it for a second. See if you can do it for a couple seconds. And stop. Because you will breathe hard. It happens. Heart rates go up, respiratory rates go up, and heart health increases. So that's what we're looking for. Down and up plie squat. Weight stays in the heels. Try not to go onto those toes too much or wobble from side to side. Staying in the center. A good thing to remember when we're doing a plie squat, Monica's going to laugh at this, is that you should feel like you have a quarter stuck between your butt cheeks and you want to keep it there. Don't lose that quarter.
How do you know I'm not?
I do. And heels to the butt. I got lots of things I can say right now. That's about it. I bet you guys are all thinking about squeezing your butt cheeks though. Don't try to squeeze your butt cheeks together now. There's no quarter in this movement. You will lose it.
You
And
gotta stabilize yourself somehow.
and stop. Boy, I wish I could see those comments coming in because I'm sure they're coming in now. Let's do our last set, plie squat. Place that quarter, keep it there, down and up, down and up. Good, chest is lifted. Again, you have a slight hinge at the hips, just enough to allow for those legs to feel the movement up and down. Some balance plays part, and stop, and up. We're getting there, guys. We're about 25 minutes into the exercise, and heels to the butt. Last set, heels. I haven't been reminding you a whole lot to get water, but remember to get sips of water here and there. Keep yourself nice and hydrated, especially with the heat that's been going on out there. Hydration is very, very important. And stop. And you got a full 30 seconds before we finish our 6th group of exercises, and this is our 6th and final. Both of these will require weights or some type of resistance, so cans of soup, water bottles. I can't think of anything. Oh, if you have bands, you can do these movements with bands as well. We're going to do shoulder presses, alternated with bent over rows, bent over rows. The first movement I was not doing a bent over row.
Well, that was a tricep movement. Ignore
So
that.
we are going to do shoulder press and bent over rows. Both of those movements can be done with alternating the arms. So you can always modify the movement by just doing one arm at a time. I will show that modification. Stephen, of course, will be doing both arms at the same time. And we've got about 20 more seconds before we start those two movements. So we have 4 more minutes left of full exercise, and then we'll finish with a couple minutes of stretching and cool down, and we will be done. We are so happy that you joined us today. We are going to get ready to do our shoulder presses. Anytime we lift our hands above the head, the knees have to be loosely bent. Hands here and up. I told you I was going to modify, so that's right and left, just alternating the two. Again, I'm doing mine with my palms faced in, just so you know that it doesn't really matter. Stephen is doing his facing forward, ultimately still working the same part of that muscle. And stop. Next one, I'm going to turn and pivot so you can see. I'm going to hinge at the hips, bend at the knees. My arms are going to extend. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades as I pull back. Squeeze. Alternating as a modification. And just because we're changing these movements to both weight movements or resistance training movements and stop, does not mean you should be breathing any easier, okay? This might even cause you to breathe a little heavier because you are using resistance. If you choose not to use resistance, that is totally fine. Second set of shoulder press. Here we go. Up, up. Everything is lifted. Notice how I'm moving back and forth on my feet. Sometimes just a little bit of movement will help keep your balance. And release. And hinge from the hips, bend at the knees, arms extend, and squeeze those shoulder blades. Back, back. Good.
Hard with the arms.
Again, Monica, it says, if you have a chair at home that's without handles or without arms, that would be your best bet or best decision, because those handles are getting in her way. And up. But you might not be able to tell from the view you're getting there, but she is at the edge of her seat so that she is not leaning back in her chair at all. Third set, shoulder press. And go. This time, instead of walking or moving back and forth on my feet, I'm just staggering my feet 1 foot in front of the other. Stephen has used a nice, good, steady side-to-side stance for this, and stop. Both are very, very good, as long as the balance is good and as long as you feel comfortable. Hinge from the hips, bend at the knees, squeeze those shoulder blades. And breathe through the movement. Everybody should be smiling still, just a little bit, with a little bit of sweat running off those eyebrows. And up. Last set of each of these, and then we are cooling down. You guys have done amazing. I know this is not the same as being here with us, but we hope that it's at least some type of consolation for you. Gives you something to look forward to. Hands up and shoulders. Right now we will be offering this class once every week on Wednesdays at the same time. Different class every time. Stephen may be leading the next one. And stop. So please join in with us, because we want to keep doing these, or at least something like this. So we want you to be a part of what we're doing, and we want to be a part of your health and your heart health. Nice and tall, squeeze those shoulder blades. Last set. We don't want you guys going downhill for not being able to be in here with us. We want to be able to help you as best as we can.
And give us your comments. Tell us what you want to see, what you don't like.
And up. Please, we want to hear your comments. We want to know what you think. We want to know if it's too hard, if it's too easy, if it's just right, if it wasn't what you were expecting, or is it what you were expecting? We're not sure. So we want to know what you're thinking. So with that said, we're going to finish with a couple minutes of cool down. We're going to do the same exact thing we did for warm up. All we're going to do is extend those arms, big shoulders back. Think about your breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And remember, this class will only right now be offered on Wednesdays at 2:15 and switch directions. But we also have a couple exercise videos online under lakeregional.com, Cardiac Rehab and Pulmonary Rehab. We offer a couple different exercise videos. One is a yoga video, the other is a wonderful video with bloopers at the end of it by Monica and I. Hands to the side. Let's cross those arms right here. This is in addition to what we did at the beginning of the class. So please, try to do what you can at home, because we're here to support you in whatever way you need us to. Give us a call if you have questions. One of the biggest things right now is hydration. You need to make sure you're hydrating well. The heat is bad. Make sure you are drinking plenty of water. I hear some of you saying, "Well, I drink tons of coffee." Coffee's not going to cut it. We need you to drink that. We need you to drink that water. Okay, stay hydrated. And if you can, let's take those arms up and over. Stretch here. And other arm. Do you guys have anything to add before we say goodbye? Release.
We miss
Big
you.
deep
Try to
breath.
stay healthy, and
And exhale out.
hopefully we'll be together again soon.
We do miss you. We do feel like this is the best decision right now for you as our patients. We want you to be safe, and that's the most important thing. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next Wednesday.